Update compliance weekly, January 18th, 2024. Share my screen and we'll go through the milestone board to see what's closed. Anyone know where we left off? Or I think we didn't have any
No, we
meetings,
don't.
so probably all of these are relevant, right? All right, let's start the bottom. There
Yep.
is,
So yeah, this is part of the epic that where we want to actually see if we actually need this particular end-to-end test or not. If you already have lower like tests at the lower level, then we can probably get rid of the end-to-end test. So in this case, I guess we had a missing feature spec to have I mean, to tie the backend and front end. So if anything goes, like if backend and front end changes, that particular feature spec should break. Once that was merged, we closed, like we removed this particular end-to-end test and closed the issue.
all right. Let's see, consolidation of streaming audit events tables. That's Nitesh, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I think this is because of I promoted this to an epic.
Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
Okay.
I can talk about the
Uh,
next one. So this is okay. So this is again a review wherein we wanted to do the same thing, I believe. Uh, yes. So we actually got rid of this particular test after adding another spec. Yes.
all right. Then we have add pagination to framework report. These are
I
all,
reviewed this one. So initially we
yeah.
didn't have pagination to the framework report. So I reviewed this and it works fine. So nice work, Ilya.
Nice. And we have
I also reviewed this, like verified this one. So now we have a button at the framework report where which we can actually use to add a new framework. So which makes sense. Like if someone is viewing the compliance framework report, there should also be an option to actually add a new framework if they want.
yeah.
Uh,
Inc.
this,
I think I validated this one. There was a bug in how we were validating headers when adding them to streaming events. It requires unique names, but it wasn't updating when you deleted a row before submitting. So if you had two the same names and you deleted one of the rows, it would now be unique, but it wasn't updating that. And that's fixed now. Um, adding,
this was again related to the one of adding new compliance framework button. So
yeah,
now we have a new page instead of a model, like a model. Instead of that, we have a new page where we like to which we navigate to when adding or editing a compliance framework.
yeah.
This will be used for the security policies, like the epic that we have, like merging security policies with compliance pipelines. Uh, yes.
All right. Next one is also on you.
Database validations for Amazon Events S3. Okay, so this one was for adding validations to the bucket names. Initially, like for example, we cannot have spaces or / in bucket names, so that was about
Yeah.
it.
All right.
Um, um,
Anyone know what this one was about? Looks like a performance issue.
no, so Ilya actually created this one. If we can move to like key set pagination, like why do we only have key set pagination? But then I
Yeah.
investigated this a bit, and then Brett came with the guideline that we should be using key set and cursor pagination for GraphQL APIs because it's performant. So we just closed this one because this is what the guideline is, and this is how it should be.
All right.
Okay.
Nice. Um,
Interesting, though, because I know that there's a lot of talk about keyset pagination, but it's definitely what we go with. Yeah. Okay.
No, so this just has a key set pagination. They were asking like, why do we only have key set pagination? That was the question. Like, so the answer is because of performance, we should be using key set pagination. So that's why it's there.
Okay. Cool.
all right. Next one is framework search. Anyone know about this one?
Oh,
Looks like
probably.
Aaron verified this one. Yeah.
I think I might have some idea about it because I created the backend API for this.
Yeah.
So there's for adding the fuzzy search in the compliance frameworks tab and searching the name frameworks by their name.
This here, right?
Yeah, so we can. Okay, we have a search string for compliance frameworks.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we have rollout instance audit events to Amazon
Yes.
S3.
I guess we have removed the feature flag now. Probably yes.
Okay.
That's why the feature flag issue is closed. The next one is to actually this is another epic where we want to add more test coverage, like more end-to-end tests. So the compliance framework report now has a bulk apply and bulk remove option. We didn't have an end-to-end test for that, so I wrote an end-to-end test, got it reviewed by the QA counterparts, and it's now merged.
Nice.
This was an interesting journey. Like I had never ran end-to-end tests locally, so had a couple of failures, a couple of issues. Took quite some help from the QA team, but finally was able to run everything successfully. So in future, if anyone face any issues, perhaps you can reach out. If I might have faced something similar.
I got stuck trying to validate a QA issue or review a QA thing this week. Yeah, it's not an easy setup apparently.
Yes.
Right, then we have a whole bunch of text.
I guess this migration.
Export button. Okay. So this might be pajamas related. It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Migration. Then we have export adherence report.
Yeah, so I verified this one. I can talk about that. So Jay created this feature for exporting standard adherence report. It works fine, except for the fact that it doesn't include the checks for the projects within a subgroup. So it's only working for the top level, like projects in the top level group right now. But he has created an issue which he would be working on to actually fix that. Other than that, it works fine.
Nice. All right. Then we have compliance updates and compliance planning. And the last one is
So there was an issue raised by the support team wherein some customer who uses AWS US government cloud account, they were unable to stream, they were unable to add the streaming destination, but apparently that doesn't seem to be true. They are on 16.6 and they were trying to add an instance level configuration, whereas we released the instance level configuration in 16.7. But we had a bug, a tiny bug in 16.6 when we released the group level configuration, wherein the front end form was also available at the instance level and not just the group level. So the user goes to the instance settings and tries to add an AWS destination, which definitely fails because the GraphQL API that's behind that expects a group ID, which is not there. So things fail. So it's a bug which was in 16.6, but the fix for the user is to actually update to 16.7 so that they can start using the instance level streaming. So I added all those details in the comment, asked the support person to reach out to the customer. Not sure if they did or what they did. But this morning, Nate closed the issue, asking her if if the issue persists, they can come back to us. So it's closed now.
Nice. All right. I think that's it for 16.8. Was there anything on 9? See. What is this one? That's planning issue, I think. E2E coverage for framework report.
Yeah, so I added feature test cases for listing down projects with their respective frameworks. This was a replacement for an existing end-to-end test, as I've told earlier.
Nice. Then we have namespace, the gPC logging APIs. This looks unassigned.
I just closed it this morning. So we wanted to actually have all the APIs appended with audit events and not specifically GCP like we have right now. But since we are working on consolidation of audit event streaming, we would be having different GraphQL APIs for every third-party integration that we have right now. So
Yeah.
this issue doesn't make sense now. So it's like we just closed that without doing. It's like a won't fix thing.
Won't fix. Yeah. This was promoted to Epic. That's why it's closed. Yeah. Okay. Got confused there for a sec. Okay. Let's see. Where were we? Planning issue. All right. Elias not here. Next one is on me. SAML SSO authentication for merge request approval. Feature was set to general availability, and there's some follow-up work left. We promoted the follow-up to an epic this morning, and I'll be pulling out issues from the follow-up and attaching into that epic. And some of it we will push out to 17, I think we said. And parts will be, where it makes sense, will be moved to auth group. Next one is on Harsamar. Migrate audit events to
Yeah.
ClickHouse.
Yeah, so the data transfer MR is in review right now, and most probably should get merged by this or next week. And now I think the target release will be moved to 16.9, and hopefully we will release our first feature in next milestone. I mean this milestone, 16.9.
Then it's here's report improvements, release export. We just saw that happened.
Yep. So the only thing that's left there is scan on demand, wherein we want to provide a button at the front end which users can click to run adherence scan for all the projects within their group. From backend perspective, I was working on that. The MR for the main work from the backend side has been merged. Now I'll have to write a GraphQL API to expose that backend feature to the front end, which front end would use to expose that to the end user.
I remember reviewing that this week.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. Improved admin and group level branch protection on Harsamar.
Yeah, so in this we had some migrations that we needed to send in 16.8, and those are merged. And in 16.9 we can now start with the backend work. So this is on track.
Nice. Then we have show linked security policies, MVC on Ilya. Does anyone have any updates on that? All right, we'll move on. Streaming audit events to AWS S3.
The progress for this one has been halted we have released AWS 3 at a group level and at an instance level, but we don't have any kind of filtering right now. So the reason for halting that is because we want to work on consolidation of audit events to a single table. So because of that, we don't want to create any further tables with respect to streaming audit events.
Makes sense. Allow for-
Same what Josefa said for the previous one, because there's also
Yeah.
related to it, and I was mostly working on the implementation plan and the go-ahead plan for the consolidation of all the tables and APIs.
All right. Then we have comprehensive instance level audit event log. Complete 3 merges. I got 1 merge this week, so I'm not sure if we need more or not, but that's all I know about that one. Increase end-to-end test coverage for government compliance.
Yeah, so this was the one that we were talking about, like either removing the end-to-end test coverages and adding feature specs or like more unit tests at a lower level, or like adding end-to-end tests for things that are not covered right now. So yeah, that's the epic for that. We also had an OKR for that, which is 80% complete this quarter.
Nice. All right, next one is compliance pipelines maintenance mode and deprecation. That one's on me. I've just barely started planning on this one. And I'll be working on that one, this milestone. No other updates yet. And then we have external status check approval. Anyone have anything? Any knowledge on that? Progress. All right. Then we are good for there. I don't think we have design or QA updates today. Does anyone have any release post blockers? Are we technically in the final week or in the first week? We didn't have a meeting last week, so yeah.
Maybe share that link. We can just go through if there's any that were missed. I hopefully
right.
got everything in. I had that today and completely forgot how to get and ended up posting straight, committing straight.
done.
Branch I shouldn't have, but yeah.
Hold on, I need to log into Okta.
While waiting for that, I can keep going with my FYs. I've got a couple of things to celebrate there. The first one was for Sam on receiving a discretionary bonus. Check out the link there to Slack, but thank you, Sam, for all your work with the SAML MR approval and receiving that discretionary bonus. So great work there. The next one was Ilya was recognized as a top performer in community contributions. So thank you, Ilya, for all your work with that and working with community there. That's obviously a big part of GitLab. And finally, the last one was a big thank you to the whole team for all your work on helping secure a major customer. And there's going to be work and a lot of stuff that comes off the back of this particular customer. So thank you for your work, compliance, streaming audit events and audit events to S3, and a bunch of other stuff was a main contributor to this sales. So thank you, everyone.
All right. Thanks for that. Let me put up the release posts. Anything jump out to anyone?
Yes.
We do have audit event for feature flags, right? The second last one.
Oh, But good question.
I
Alright.
guess we do have. I guess we do have, and it's not this. It was released quite a while ago. Probably we can just close the release post now. Feature. Yes, we do have that. I can share the link.
Dated February 8th,
Yeah,
2023. Yeah, that might be
Yep. Yeah, we
a
missed
lagger
the.
in there. Yes.
Yeah, we missed that.
Oops.
We can just now close this.
Leave that one with me. I'll do that now.
All right.
The one that I wanted to ask was default branch protection options. Hasima, will that make 16.9? Potentially.
Yeah, 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 I think we will be releasing this. But I think it will be requiring a feature flag. Do we do a release post for feature flags also? That gets jumped to next milestone.
Not unless the feature flag is enabled by default.
Uh, yeah, I think
But if
then it
we
will.
like, if we merge the feature, since we just started 16.9, so if we merge the feature,
And
like
remove
at
the
the
feature flag,
beginning,
then we can.
I either remove or just enable the feature flag by default, like test the feature throughout the milestone for the next 1 or 2 weeks, and then enable the feature flag by default and just release. Then we can have a release post.
Yeah,
But
I
anyway,
think we
like
can.
whenever we see like it's stable and we can have not
Yeah,
rushing the feature just for the release post.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
think we can discuss this again in next or next to next week if
Perfect.
All right.
the features merged. Yeah.
All right. I'll stop recording for the rest. Everyone can wave to camera. Mm-mm-mm.